For Technology Thursday, I'm going to talk to you about some of my communication devices that I use in the classroom and in therapy. So next week, I'm going to be doing a story called The Bug Jar, which is an interactive lift the flap style book that was created by fiddlers here in Florida using Boardmaker. So I printed it out, I created the book based on the images that were online, and then I printed out the overlays that match it. So I have the 32 for the tech speak, I have the visual that goes in here, and then I have the visual that goes in the tech talk, which is 8. I just had a big problem with the tech talk. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. So the first thing I did was change out the batteries, and I've been advised to always use the same kind. You can see they had 4 Energizer, and I found 4 Duracell. So always use the same kind of batteries is what I've been told, and don't use rechargeable batteries. I also noticed this little light was blinking, which I think is now not blinking, which is a good sign. So it seems to be working now. First thing I would always do with these things, they can be kind of finicky, is try to change the batteries. The second thing I was having a problem with, it wasn't activating before. But now it is.
Open the flap.
Because I trimmed, I went ahead and cut some more along the bottom. So they're very, very persnickety. If you're going to use these devices, prep them beforehand. Don't pull this out of your cabinet and think that you're going to use it right away without prepping it. Definitely check it first. Some things you want to always have if you're using assistive technology, some things that are good to use are a flashlight. You can point to the button that you want the student to activate without having to do hand over hand or always modeling. After you do that and you teach, you can kind of fade the modeling away and have them show you what you want them to do. Always good to have screwdrivers, so we've got a big one there, and we've also got a small one because some of the devices are much smaller, so it's good to have a variety. Got a lot of batteries. I'm not sure why I have these. Something I have must have these big batteries. So I keep a lot of batteries on hand because these things suck through batteries, especially if you forget to turn them off in between use. So be very careful with that. I have ruined a lot of batteries that way. The second thing that I did was I also printed out the vocabulary that goes on the top. So we've got our fringe. Actually, I think these go on here, the bigger ones, and the little ones go on here. So within the story, we've got our core vocabulary and we've got our fringe vocabulary that matches along with the story. So you have to lift the flap and find it. You can touch here, the ladybug. You can touch here. You can touch here. There's a lot of opportunities to participate for the student. They can tell you to open the flap, which would be like this.
Open the flap.
Oops, got to re-record. Close the flap and
Open the flap. Turn the page.
Turn the page, giving them some kind of way to direct the action so they're not always a passive listener. Get them involved with the story. So hopefully this will go off without a hitch next week, and thank you for joining me on Technology Thursday.